to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your friendship, and thank you so much for being here on this channel and for your beautiful comments and your supportive comments to me and to each other, of course, in the comment section. I appreciate you so much, and thank you guys so much for dropping your comments below, and continue to do so because I'll be drawing another name for that free reading. So if you're new to this channel, please drop your comment below because I offer a chance to win a free reading for anyone who is subscribed and leaves a comment under any of my videos during this month. So be sure to do that if you feel called to. But if you're finding yourself here for the very first time, we would like to have you welcome us to this beautiful soul family that we are growing here. Please pull up a chair, get cozy, grab yourself a snack, and we'll have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. My birds are going crazy in the other room, so just ignore them. For today's pick a card reading, we're looking at the person on your mind and the last time that they saw you. What were they thinking and what were they feeling? We have 3 piles for you to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with this bee card, the universe card, and the yellow flower. Pile number 2 with the butterfly judgment card and the pink flower. Pile number 3 with the blue star and the blue flower. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting from Spirit today, and I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today is all about the last time your person saw you, what was going through their mind, what were they feeling, and I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the beautiful yellow flower, or perhaps to the bee here, the universe, the world card. And this is your reading. The person on your mind, the last time that they saw you, what was going through their mind, what were they feeling? Now, the universe card is all about closure. The world card talks about success and having sort of sweet results that await us. So this person could feel like there's a lot that needs to be said or unfinished business between the two of you. Now, the honeybee for me has multiple meanings because one is all about the sweet results that await us when we take certain steps, and the other one is a very self-sacrificial energy, putting all of our effort in for the good of the hive, so to speak. So please take that as it resonates to your situation. But let's take a look here and see. Pile number 1. First of all, let's take a look here and see the dynamics of this connection, the last time that they saw you. What was going on the last time that they saw pile number 1? What were they thinking and feeling the last time that they saw pile number 1? So we have the 4 of Pentacles coming out first. Last time they saw pile number 1. We have the 6 of Cups. I feel like they were really caught off guard the last time that they saw you. I feel like it's been a long time since they saw you, and they were kind of thrown for a loop. They weren't prepared for this meeting, so I feel like it was unexpected where they saw you last or when they saw you last. And I'm not even getting the impression that any meaningful conversation took place in that moment, if I'm honest, because it feels like they were unable to complete some sort of a closure communication or a closure process here. They felt sort of helpless. For someone watching too, I do feel like there could have been children involved, or you may have been children when you saw them last, for instance, or you would have grown up with them. But also when they saw you last, there could have been children there or involved in the mix, which could have been why they felt helpless to create change, because there could have been other people with you the last time that they saw you. We have the Lovers. But you know what, there's just such, honestly, a beautiful evolution to the connection and to the growth itself, even the practical growth, because I feel like it's been long enough that you've changed physically, and they were still feeling very physically attracted to you in that moment. They have a very strong sense of nostalgia about you, but you have changed from their memories, but they still really like what they saw. We have the King of Wands. They could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. We have very strong Gemini energy here as well. Back of the deck is the Tower. I think it shocked them when they saw you. Sorry for the wobble. I think that it really shocked them when they saw you. It was very unexpected. The Tower kind of creates this upheaval that pops up out of nowhere that we're not ready for. But it's like there's nothing they could do about it. This Tower happened. I feel like they could have seen you from afar, for instance, or you guys bumped into each other because they couldn't escape it. They couldn't escape seeing you. So it caught them off guard. And then once they, especially if they saw you from afar, once they knew you were there, they couldn't stop kind of peering in that direction either. They were really focused on that. But they were very attracted to you in that moment, the last time that they saw you. But I also, again, I don't feel like they could act upon this surprise. I don't feel like they could approach you with meaningful conversation in that moment because of restrictions, or they felt kind of helpless or powerless to do so. I'm getting the impression that they may have seen you with someone. And they themselves are also indicating that they may not have had the ability to commit or the ability to approach you in that moment too with meaningful conversation. There may have been converse that happened here, but not meaningful conversation, because they did feel insecure to hold back their truth. They couldn't share how they truly felt about that experience with you. Because the truth is that nothing has changed for them since the past, emotionally speaking. And that's what that moment sort of taught them in that second. It was like this, not only was it a shock to see you, because it wasn't prepared, it wasn't something you two planned, but it also created a bit of a aha moment for them, an epiphany moment, if you will, about the unfinished business between the two of you. And if they didn't approach you to speak to you, they wanted to, and that's something that's being communicated very strongly here. But they were too afraid. And that came through very strongly here too. I just heard the word chicken. They were too afraid to. Yeah, there's that Knight of Cups, hesitating to be vulnerable. They are very self-conscious about the last time that they saw you, about how they presented themselves to you and how you viewed them, or how they have evolved from this stage of the past, because they were very attracted to you, but now they're a little insecure about how you felt they have evolved. There could be a slight age gap here where the Divine Feminine's a little bit older. That's not for everyone. That will be for you if you know that it is, though. We have the Eight of Pentacles. For someone watching, this could have happened when they were in the workplace or when you were in the workplace. I feel like they may have been in the workplace, and you caught them off guard in their workplace. There could have been a work connection here in the past too, but it feels like where they saw you last was in a workplace. But it feels like it was theirs because they were immersed in work when all of a sudden, boom, you were there out of nowhere. Almost like they'd conjured you up in some way. And to be honest with you, the experience was both exciting, but also kind of devastating at the same time. It's like there's the Tower again, very bittersweet. And yeah, they're claiming to watch you from afar, potentially. As I said, it doesn't feel like meaningful conversation happened, if at all. And so they were sort of watching you during this exchange, and it brought forward a lot of truths, a lot of lessons in that moment. It's like it really brought forward information that they weren't privy to. So they may not have been privy. Again, if you have become a parent, for instance, and they saw you as a parent, that was a role that they've never seen you in before. So it's like they saw you step into a role that they've never seen you in before, and that brought about a bittersweetness, a very sweet, nostalgic sort of energy, but also a little bit devastation, a little bit. The Ten of Swords is somebody who has had their eggs all in one basket and has their heart transfixed upon something and is really obsessive over somebody else, but it's a moment that came in that thrust them onto that beach. And all of these swords of truth, which are representing the truth of how they feel, they didn't get the opportunity to express them to you. So that's kind of devastating too, because I feel like this person has really been fantasizing about this type of serendipitous event. And you may too have been sort of really focused upon this type of event because they had all of these expectations about what would happen during this meeting that were not matched or were not met. And so there's a sadness or a disappointment with how things progressed during this opportunity. because it feels like this moment, this opportunity we've been waiting for potentially a while, and then it did not come out the way that we thought that it would. Because in the fantasy, I feel like in the fantasy, you would have been alone, they would have been alone, it would have been something they felt prepared for, and this caught them off guard. We have here, can you hear me? You can see her hand is on her hip, and she has her bottom half is this shell, which reminds me of the high priestess, of secrecy and holding things back, and it's half submerged in the water. It's like they were waiting for you to approach them in that moment, and you didn't. But again, I feel like you had distractions where you couldn't perhaps approach them, and they were sort of devastated by that a little bit, that you didn't approach them, because it's very apparent that you've evolved and you've bloomed and you've grown and your experience has grown. And I feel like they wanted to gather more information from you. I feel like they wanted, they wanted a conversation and they never got it. So there's a frustration that sort of came in for them full throttle in that moment. What were they thinking and feeling the last time they saw? Pile 1, please. We have here, back to what you love, reevaluate your desires. And that's exactly what the Six of Cups can represent, is this nostalgia from the past that resurfaces like a floodgate opening, and wishing that they could go back in time because you flooded them with memories. And then I feel like after that moment, for the rest of their week, perhaps the rest of their month, they thought about that every day. You have here, receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. And back of the deck says, be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show that you care. And I don't feel like either one of you necessarily approached here. It says here, receive with love and appreciation. She's holding on to this snowflake because there's this feeling of, I don't necessarily feel like the two of you were cold with one another, but I feel like it was like two ships passing in a night. I feel like it was a pivotal moment for both of you and a pivotal opportunity, but you both were not able to act upon it. What were they thinking and feeling the last time they saw Pile 1, please? We have here, express your love. They wanted to make a romantic gesture towards you. And we have here, make the effort. Great love is worth the steps you're guided to take. And I love this card because it's very reminiscent of this Six of Cups card. Very reminiscent, actually. And they really wanted to reach out to you, or they really wanted to communicate with you. And they know that this was a moment. Like, they were waiting for this opportunity. And I don't feel like it was satisfying for either one of you. We have here, honeymoon. Enjoyed the bliss of holiday time together. I do think of commitments with this card, but I also think about somebody who fantasizes about you, about sort of both of you being alone together or whisking you off on some sort of secret vacation. What were they thinking and feeling, please, the last time they saw you? We have here, you are the light. It says, be the light when darkness surrounds you. And this wanted to come out reverse. You can see her long braid there, which is a symbol of all of this sort of information and experiences that you could both have gathered during the disconnect. It also talks about sort of shining a light in the dark. It's like a hopeful moment that they were kind of wishing upon, but it came out reverse because it didn't fill them with the hope that they hoped that they would, and it didn't fill them with the clarity that they hoped that that moment would provide for both of you. Back of the deck says Gelato Goddess. It says brave girl, number 5. And there's a feeling of being separated from you, from this divine feminine energy, and how painful that really was for them. Because the 5s are all about struggle and having to power through in that moment. Let's get a couple of message cards. What were they thinking the last time that they saw Pile 1, please? That they love you unconditionally. And that does mirror the Six of Cups, the nostalgia, the innocent love. I left when I saw you with someone. They may have been very avoidant. I wish I could share my good news with you. So they really wanted to speak with you during that opportunity, but they felt like they couldn't or they shouldn't. I left before you could leave me. So they avoided you before you could avoid them, or it's like hearts pounding, and you're both feeling it, but you're both ignoring it or pretending like there's nothing going on. I replay our conversations over and over. We both know I'm not the one for you on the back of the deck. What was pile one's person thinking the last time that they saw pile one, please? That they love you. And that no matter how much time or space has had time to take root during this connection, that the attraction is still undeniable. Do I think about you too much? Am I obsessed? They're worried about the obsessive energy towards their attraction. Whoops, there's one on the floor. They're very curious about what you're up to. They want to know about your day-to-day. It's like they feel like they've missed a lot. This feels like a very strong friendship as well from the past. It may not have been completely romantic. It may have been, but I feel like it stemmed in friendship. They want to feed their curiosity. And I'm so frustrated with myself in this situation because they feel like they missed an opportunity that they've been actually waiting for a really long time. I made a lot of wrong decisions when it came to you in that moment. And we also have, I loved you then, I loved you still, I always have, I always will. And back of the deck says, you intimidate me and you always have. So you still have a certain amount of power and control over this person. Even if you're not meaning to, you still have a huge influence on this person. And that the last time that they saw you was very indicative of that. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number one, please. The last time that they saw you, what do they wish that they could have said to you in that moment? If they could express anything with no filter to pile one, what would they have communicated for pile one here? The Four of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands. Now the Four of Wands is reversed here. There is, now this is not for everyone, so please take it as it resonates to your situation, but there definitely does feel to be sort of progress made for you and for this person as far as your practical realm. So you may have moved on into relationships and children, for instance, and vice versa. They may as well. There are obstacles here, is what Spirit is saying. And they're also indicating this person wanted to communicate to you that that is what held them back, was the fact that they don't want to create any sort of upheaval or trauma or turmoil in your experience right now. They don't want to create arguments, but they also feel like they are searching for second best in life at this point. That's what the separation has taught them. That's what that moment of epiphany that hit them so hard about you has taught them, that they're searching for second best at this point in their life because you had such a profound influence on them. We have 0, O, and V, and W. You do have the Eight of Swords, which is somebody who is feeling stuck and stagnant at this time. We have the Five of Pentacles, somebody who feels rejected or felt left on the outside of an experience. They almost feel like they don't know who you are anymore, that's as much time has gone by. It's like, who have you evolved into? Three of Pentacles, new foundations. Four of Wands, twin flame energy. We have the Tower falling, which is interesting because the Tower showed up multiple times for you here. They are concerned about foundations breaking down. And there could be children involved here too, because here's the Mickey Mouse with the key. We also have Scorpio, the flat-shelled Empress, so I think of motherhood. We have Leo with the charm of the kitty cat, but I think about embracing our independence and powering through. The Rose of empowerment. The Spoon, I think about children. We also have here a commandment from the Bible that says, thou shalt not bear false witness. So somebody who held back and who didn't share their truth, someone who lies about their feelings for you. All right, pile one, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. And if it did, please drop me your comment below and subscribe to the channel so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. And I will be drawing that name this week. So be sure to drop your comment and hit your notification bell so that I can contact you if you're chosen the winner. I also offer a chance to win a free reading on my Instagram link, and that link is below as well too. And I offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below. They do sell out very quickly. I do post at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday through Thursdays and on Sundays as well. But be sure to check back often because I'm always relisting. But I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile 2. You are drawn to the pink flower, or to the judgment butterfly here, and this is your reading. The last time that your person saw you, what were they thinking? What were they feeling? The judgment card is all about reflection and judging our actions, and oftentimes finding ourselves wanting for what we should have done and hoping for new beginnings. So this person has been thinking about this moment for quite a bit since that moment in time where the two of you crossed paths, or the last time that they saw you. So they've been reflecting upon it quite a bit, and they've come to certain conclusions when it comes to you too. Some of those conclusions might involve new beginnings or fresh perspectives or release. So let's take a look here and see. The last time that they saw you, we have the Knight of Cups. What were they thinking and feeling the last time that they saw you? We have the Hermit. Very strong Virgo energy. The Wheel of Fortune. The Three of Wands. The Nine of Wands. They almost feel like they made it happen because they've been thinking about you so much leading up to that moment. They almost felt like it was some sort of, it was like some sort of evidence of your connection, because they're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about them and here they are. It's like this physical representation of my desires right in front of me. And they kind of are taking that as a sign, to be honest. They're sort of taking that last moment of seeing you as a bit of a sign that they were right for holding on to the connection for so long. Because it almost, yeah, just sort of doubled down to their necessity, because it feels like necessary for them to hold on to this connection for you now, because they're like, that was a sign from the heavens, because I was just thinking about them a lot, and all of a sudden this was a connection that they must have been thinking about me too or something, because all it's done is riled things up for them. Here's the Two of Pentacles, and here's the Eight of Pentacles, and there's the Seven of Swords. I will say that they're kind of missing the mark a little bit. Their guides are saying they're missing the mark a little bit as to the purpose of that meeting. It does feel like a serendipitous event, though, the two of you being brought together in this state and time. But they haven't done enough reflection yet to see the truth of the situation, or to see perhaps the obstacles in place. But they really took it as a sign that the two of you were sort of meant to be potentially together. They'd love to have brand new beginnings or a fresh start. They wish that they could go back in time and have a redo. But when they saw you the last time, they're like, I was just thinking about them, and here they are standing right in front of me. It made them feel sort of connected to you more. Also made them feel very vulnerable, though, because I don't feel like it was a planned meeting that the two of you set up. But it also feels like they weren't 100% surprised to see you standing there. We have the Seven of Swords. And we saw that Seven of Swords again here underneath the Eight. The Five of Pentacles. The Five of Cups, oh my. Because this person struggled and suffered through the disconnect. And the last time that they saw you, they had not gotten over that. They hadn't gotten over the loss of you. It's like they were still feeling the effects of that loss. Four of Swords. Now, Spirit is actually indicating that this moment in time, this serendipitous event of seeing you again, or the last time that they saw you, it was meant to sort of precipitate a healing for some, a clearance energy. It was meant for them to allow a release. but that's not how they are viewing the situation. If they were holding on, if they were looking at the opportunity in a very clear perspective, then they would see it as there's an evidence that they need to heal. They need to face sort of the truth of the situation, or the truth of the separation. But all it really did was solidify their place in this connection, truly. Seven of Wands. We have here the Magician, and we have the Moon. And you know, if we take a look at the Magician, even if he's standing here next to the Moon, there's a feeling of even the Magician turning his back on this lantern, turning his back on the light that sort of lights up the path, or the steps that we're feeling guided to take. This person, the last time that they saw you, they now feel like, because of that serendipitous event, they now feel like they wish that they could work on the connection more, and they want to power through the obstacles. They just don't know where to start, because they have closure issues, and seeing you for the last time, it just sort of strengthened those closure issues. It just sort of solidified, but it didn't create, they took it as a sign that the two of you were meant to be together, but they didn't take that sign and start to apply practical steps to it. And that's where their intuition and their ego are at odds with each other at this point, because they saw it as this serendipitous event, but they're also feeling really, kind of really unjustified, or feeling really unsatisfied by the results of seeing you again as well. For some, I feel like there may not even been a conversation potentially, or there may have been, but I feel like it was not a fruitful conversation necessarily, because this person, although it solidified that, yes, I'm not over them and I need to still hold on and I'm not ready to move on, it didn't light enough of a fire underneath them for them to open up their heart space enough to start taking the practical steps to get to you. They still feel very helpless, very hopeless to actually create the change, because they haven't completed that process of reflection. And if they completed the process of this transformation, it would open up their eyes to the steps that they would actually have to practically take. But right now, they're just spending all of that time looking backwards and being very wishful and very, it's like wishful thinking going into their expectations for the future. When the truth is that they need to take certain steps to create this new beginning that they're hoping for, because they're still holding on to the hope that the two of you will be together in the future. This person is still very much stuck on this connection. But again, it hasn't lit enough fire underneath them for them to face the challenges that already exist, or the obstacles that already exist, or the separation that already exists in the connection itself. How are they thinking and feeling the last time that they saw pile 2, please? I do feel like for someone watching this person, or maybe even you, it's like there's not a freedom to explore here anyway. They're still juggling other realms. We have here never-ending story. But there's unfinished business here. We also have here community. And what it actually shined a light on was the necessity for these steps to be taken, and the specific steps that had to be taken for the expansion to happen. It was a moment of a doorway opening, but it did highlight in that moment for your person the certain steps that they had to take to create solutions for forever with you, to create new beginnings in the connection itself. But they're being really passive when it comes to actually fulfilling those practical steps. We have the Yang, which is like the Ace of Wands. Again, they feel like they conjured you up with all of the thought that they have about you, because they think about you often before this event. They think about it, ramped it up even more so now after seeing you for the last time that they saw you. It amped up that fantasy, that desire. What it's supposed to do is initiate the clearance. It's supposed to initiate the practical steps that are being asked of in this connection to create a new doorway or a new beginning. But this person, again, is being really passive about that opportunity right now. They're still stuck in this mindset of loss. They're still stuck in this mindset of, I don't know what to do to create solutions, and I feel stuck in this rut right now. But this was an evidence, this moment for them was an evidence of like, but I know it's not over. What were they thinking and feeling the last time they saw pile 2, please? We have prosperity. Sweet results await with the Be Prosperity card. And you know, this card, it's number 5, so it's really mirroring the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords. I'm sorry, the 5 of Cups. It's mirroring all of the challenge that that is still present in the connection, the separation, the loss, the practical steps that are needed, but it's also worth the steps. They feel like it's worth the steps that they're guided to take towards you, but they just haven't taken them yet because they feel a little bit unsure of what steps to take next. And I feel like there are, and I mean, this is a collective reading, so I have lots of energy that floats in, but for someone watching, part of these obstacles could include other people, could include all sorts of upheaval that would be necessary. Because the Chariot in the reverse is talking about being stuck in a rut because I'm being pulled in different directions. We have acceptance, number 5 as well, and we have courage on the back of the deck. Because what that moment actually did provide for the two of you is this moment of time, which provided a doorway which applies pressure to create change. Within the doorway is a hurdle. We have to overcome it with our courage. We have to leap through it. But there's too much complacency with this person. And that's why it's like they're putting off the decision, they're putting off the practical steps, even though this moment in time was evidence to them of the necessity to do just the opposite. What were they thinking and feeling, please? The last time they saw pile number 2. What was going through their mind the last time they saw pile 2, please? We have here, will I get what I want? The 3 of Wands. Oop, too many spirit. We have 1 Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands, that spark that we just saw. The spark is still there, and that's the thing, is the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Wands together is the 4, but we have to leap through that doorway. We have to walk through it in order to connect the two. And so you inspired them in that moment to take leaps of faith, but they're worried about other people's opinions, especially if their practical concerns involve other people. They're worried about gossip, and they wonder if you care. 13, the death energy, wanting rebirths with the judgment. It's all about new beginnings with the judgment. The 13, the death energy is all about rebirths too, but they are unsure if you feel the same way. You have here, I lie awake thinking about our future since that moment. And the truth is that they were feeling a lot of love for you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be experiencing all of this loss. So their love is the answer, is on the back of that deck. What were they thinking and feeling the last time that they saw you? For pile number 2, please. I don't know how to let this go. They don't know how to create solutions. They also don't know how to let it go because they're not being honest with themselves or other people about how they feel. They're not trusting in their intuition to guide them at this time. What are they thinking and feeling, please? Karmic lessons are at play here. And I know what I want. They just don't know if they have the strength to get there. I imagine a future with you. They lay awake at night thinking about their future with you. Have you forgotten all about me? So they don't know if you feel the same way. Is it even possible? Can we start over? I'm trying to make sense of it all. Please give me time. Oh, there's 2 here. And I am aglow with thoughts of you. There's such a beautiful nostalgia surrounding that card because it really reminds me of the 6 of Cups. It's like all of the memories of you, they don't even care if they're real or not because they make them feel good. Thoughts of you make them feel good. We have, you do deserve better than this situation on the back of that deck. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. If your person, we lost one here, if your person could say anything with no filter right this moment about the last time that they saw you, what would they have said if they could say anything at all to you with no filter the last time that they saw you? Oh, they're all sideways, this limbo. There's this song, you know, that song, Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone, and that's what this just played through my mind with the sun in limbo. It's like there's this acknowledgement of like, I know I'm delaying my own gratification, and they're kicking themselves for the choices and the decisions that they've made. They also want to say that they wish that they could have taken a risk to talk to you if they didn't get a chance to talk to you, and that their own hesitation came from physical restrictions, but also a lot of nerves and a lot of insecurity as well. But they just really would love to shine a light on how they feel for you, and they're afraid that the present situation or practical situations between the two of you doesn't highlight that. They're worried that appearances would show that they don't care, and they wish that they could talk with you, because they're very attracted to you and they feel kind of stuck on you, like they can't escape this connection or this attraction. Very strong Leo energy, Capricorn. We have the letter K. We also have here a rolling pin. I think about domestic households. I think about children and baking. We have the Cupid's arrow, unexpected feelings, an unexpected event leading to the two of you seeing each other again. We have a little boy with a little baseball cap. I think about children, of course, little boys, but I think about emotional immaturity too. We have here the cross. I think about the hanged man and self-sacrifice, surrender. We have the butterfly in the bowl. You chose the butterfly. Twice, there are 2 butterflies in the bowl here. So very mirrored soul paths. She believed she could, so she did. And we also have here the starfish of Aquarius. It's a healing energy of like somebody who feels like they've lost their person. All right, pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. Please subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell, drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can check out my Etsy account for another chance to win a free reading. I'm going to be posting about that this week as well. You can also check me out on Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope that you come back here for a visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the blue flower, or perhaps to the blue star of Aquarius here, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, what was the last time that they saw you? What were they thinking? What were they feeling? Now, the Aquarius energy here could be in conjunction with your sign or their sign. It's the blue star here, so some of their hope is waning. It talks about healing, the necessity for healing here. So the last time that they saw you, they could have been infused with the realization that they do need to heal, or they do need to detach, or could have sort of riled up their hopes. So let's see here what they were thinking and feeling the last time that they saw. Pile 3, please. Now my light in the center is flickering as if it's going to go out, so keep that in mind. We have here the 3 of Cups with the King of Swords. The 3 of Cups can really speak about friendships that were really long-standing in the past as well, but a friendship that had a lot more potential than just friendship. This person could be the Aquarius with the King of Swords here as well. So the last time they saw you, what were they thinking and feeling? Please, pile 3. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the 2 of Wands. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 8 of Cups. Back of the deck, we have the Lovers. And we have the Hermit. They found the last time that they saw you really unsatisfying. The experience was really unsatisfying. It made them feel kind of perhaps even a little bit overlooked or helpless to create any type of change. It did seem to sort of tear down some of the hope that they had of this focus that they have on you. Because even in this Hermit energy, you can see Alice is waving, it looks like she's waving goodbye. And the Hermit doesn't even have a lantern lit in this card here. There was something intimidating about you or about what they saw when they saw you the last time. You may not have been alone, for instance. You may have been with another person or with other people because they felt, it's like they got a snap of reality, or it's like a jolt of reality that hit them the last time that they saw you. And it made them feel like they had missed an opportunity with you. You may have moved forward, for instance, because they're communicating that their delays weren't, it's like my delays aren't your delays, and even though I'm holding on, you may not have held on, and you may have moved forward, because even this little pig here up on the chalice is like if pigs could fly. It's like you feel so far away now, you feel unattainable to them, and so they found that the last time that they saw you, they found it really upsetting a little bit. It tore them down. It really kind of took away the fantasy that they had about the potential between the two of you, and it stripped them of part of that fantasy, because it does feel like you weren't alone perhaps the last time that they saw you. Even my light in the center just went out just now. So let's clarify this reading, please. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the King of Cups. We have the Empress. I do feel like, and this is very similar to pile one, so you may have a message waiting for you there as well, but there are similar tendencies here because you may have been with children the last time that you saw them, Spirit just indicated. There could have been a child aspect that didn't allow them to approach you. I don't feel like you were alone. You may not have even seen them, if I'm honest, in this moment. For someone watching, you may not have even noticed that they were there because they felt overlooked too. Like you were too consumed with something else to even notice them in that moment, or they felt overlooked in that moment, like you couldn't approach them. And now here's the wheel, but he's strapped to the wheel. And around him are these symbols, these skulls, which are symbols of reality, transition, and grief attached to the last time that they saw you, because they weren't happy with what they saw. And not because you have anything to be sorry for, but just because it really solidified for them that they don't know how to create change, or there's obstacles to getting what their fantasy sort of fueled at them. This person could be a fire sign, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, potentially, but we also have Virgo. We have very strong Aquarius. We have very strong Gemini energy here. In the moment where they saw you the last time, they did turn their back on their impulse, because this Knight of Wands wants to be reckless, wants to take risks, wants to charge forward, but they couldn't. And he turned his back on his emotion in that moment, even though it was hard. Even though, because it's like this is a ghost from the past that has followed this person around. They have been affected by the separation, and while they've been affected by the separation, they are indicating that they thought the two of you were in the same boat emotionally, but whatever they saw the last time that they saw you communicated to them that you have moved forward. I don't feel like that's necessarily the case. I think appearances are very subjective to a person's opinion of that situation, but in their opinion in that moment, they felt kind of helpless to move out of a friendship zone with you. They felt helpless to move this into another sort of attraction, because they were attracted to you, though, very physically attracted to you in that moment, but you feel unattainable or out of their grasp. It's like you're a celebrity out here and there's no way I could possibly have you for A, B, and C reasons, because it's something now that they feel like they have to wish upon, but now they even feel like they feel like luck is not on their side when it comes to this connection in this moment, because they're still feeling that impulse, but now they don't want to create havoc. And so they hold their truth back, and the truth is painful for them. There's the Tower energy. What were they thinking and feeling the last time that they saw? Pile 3, please. We have here expansion. Spirit guardians of summer. This could have happened recently. We also have here enlightenment. So whatever they saw the last time that they saw you moving forward. They saw your expansion. They saw how you've grown, how your experience has grown, how you have physically changed, and it brought about a lot of information that they needed. If there was conversations between the two of you, you shared privied information about how you've changed or where your life has taken you, especially if you've moved into a motherhood or children, for instance. You've shared these steps with them, so it enlightened them. That moment did bring about information for them. It's just some of the information was really painful for them, and it's like they weren't ready to see that truth, or they weren't prepared for it. What are they thinking and feeling last time they saw you? We have here blessed sideways. You know what? There's something quite lovely about this person's energy, and the fact that they are grateful to have experienced your friendship even in the past. There's a gratitude that they have. They're not feeling, they haven't completely, like they're not completely altruistic. They haven't completely moved into that realm of understanding completely about appreciating each moment fully, because they don't feel very good about the connection in this moment. They don't feel very hopeful about making change, because of whatever information they gathered about you and your experience. So you may have had a communication with them where you said, you know, I'm not available, or I'm not ready for a relationship at this time. We have soulmates. And we have new life in the reversal. And this is like the Fool energy in the reversal. It's like it requires that leap of faith, but there's a certain amount of helplessness. It really mirrors the Four of Cups, not being able to take a leap, not ready, not prepared. But it's like they had this epiphany about you, about who you are, because they know who you are. You know, they know that you're this soulmate energy, or that they feel really connected to you, but they also see that you're not ready for what they want in this connection, or this, whatever the practical situations are for you or this person. It doesn't allow enough wiggle room for us to leap into a brand new beginning together. So that's filled them with the necessity for healing and refocus. What are they currently thinking and feeling, please? The last time that they saw you. We have the Union of Hearts, love connection that defies explanation. And so they still do feel that soulmate tie to you. And we have here forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. It came out reversed. It doesn't feel fair. And that's what I was thinking as I was shuffling. And this is the number 2 and 9, which is an 11. And the 11 in the reverse is like justice reverse, which just doesn't feel like a fair situation, because this connection does seem to defy logic. Because there's such a strong connection here, this person is feeling blue, like literally emotionally sad that this connection defies logic, and it doesn't seem fair that we've been brought through reality the way that we've been brought through it. It's like it doesn't feel fair that we're not together. It doesn't feel fair that there's no opening for us when we've been given this opportunity. And we have here, have patience. Love is patient and kind always. And so they are frustrated with the amount of patience that's being required of them in this connection, if I'm honest. They're not 100% happy about it. And we have here, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from other people. This started out with a very strong friendship element to this connection itself. And we have unrequited love. They don't feel like you feel the same way. They didn't get the impression the last time that they saw you, if there was communication or not, that you feel the same way as intensely as they do. And they're having a difficult time staying optimistic. Even the optimistic card is reversed. It says stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, but they're not feeling that optimism. The last time that they saw you pulled them into another realm of the necessity for healing. I do want us to be in a relationship. What were they thinking the last time, please? I've thought in the past about surprising you with a date. And I reminisce a lot about the time spent with you. So they've fantasized about that moment before it even happened. But I feel like it didn't go to plan. I miss being intimate with you, but I feel like they may have not had, for everyone, I don't feel like they've had a chance to be intimate with you, and they want to be. We have here, some people don't want to see us together, but I don't care. And back of the deck says, I have been hurt by love before. I feel like they've been hurt by this love before, it feels like. Are these feelings mutual? Because I'm kicking myself. And I do feel like this person, they were waiting for the perfect time or something in the past of this connection to express how they felt, to move this out of a friendship realm. They saw so much potential, but they just kept sitting and sitting and sitting instead of acting upon it. And now they are kicking themselves. Oops. I fell so hard and so fast for you. And I remember every detail of you. Because you are like their star. You're like, they are obsessed with you. They're wishing upon you. Friends with benefits. So wanting to take it out of the friend zone. You really did inspire them to be a little bit impulsive and want to be reckless. Did you ever feel the same? You have probably moved on, question mark. So even if you've moved on physically, they want to know if you've moved on emotionally. Whenever I'm with them, I think about you. And we have, I lie about my feelings for you. But on the other side was, I love you then, I loved you still, I always have, I always will. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 3. For pile number 3, please, Spirit, if their person could have said anything with no filter the last time that they saw them, what would they have said? The stars reversed in the bowl. Aquarius, 3 of Wands reversed. And we have the 10 of Cups reversed. Oh my goodness. They would really communicate to you that they see things clearly now. That they feel like you could have had it all together, like you could have built it all together, and they're realizing now that they're too late. For someone watching, you or they may have moved into a family situation and they don't want to create the havoc of that. That's why that Tower showed up. The 10 of Cups is reversed, so they don't want to create havoc in that type of investment. But there's frustrating delays, and they, again, whatever they saw the last time that they saw you, you could be the one with this family unit, so that now there's a necessity for those delays to be there, which has stolen some of their focus and made them feel a little bit helpless. That's why the star is blue. That's why the Star of Aquarius is reversed here in the bowl. They do feel like in that moment that they were perhaps overlooked in that moment. So you may not have seen them, for instance, because they felt a little bit ignored in the past of this connection, and they continue to sort of feel overlooked. We have the chain, Capricorn. We have the 4-leaf clover for good luck for the divine feminine. So there's a sense of your, whatever they perceived about your experience, or whatever they perceived about you, that things look like they're going well for you. They're still very much attached. It's very codependent energy here. The letter H. We have the Holy Bible. So somebody who's trying to do things by the book. People who swear on a Bible. We have here the 6 honey cells that are filled with honey. I think about karmic relationships, and I think about investments. We have the Star of Aquarius, healing over a loss. The Star of Aquarius, or the starfish, can lose a limb and regrow that limb over time, which is, I'm sure, is a very long and drawn out and uncomfortable process. But in the very same way, this person feels like they have been holding on to this connection for a very long time. All right, my dears, that is what I have for you. I hope that it resonates. And if it did, please subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell, drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can check me out on Instagram for a chance to win a free reading. And you can check me out on Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. I do relist in the shop every day, so be sure to check back because it does sell out really quickly. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you have a beautiful week, and I hope you come back here to visit me at the Tarot Cottage.